Imagine waking up one morning to find that humans are no longer the undisputed rulers of intelligence on Earth. That somewhere, in the depths of the ocean, high in the rainforest canopy, or hidden in plain sight, there are creatures whose minds rival, and in some ways surpass, our own. Today, we're going to uncover 5 animals whose brains don't just impress scientists. They might make you question everything you thought you knew about human superiority. Number 5 will surprise you, but number 1? It could completely change how you see the natural world. Let's begin. Number 5, the African gray parrot. Most people think of parrots as colorful mimics, repeating whatever they hear just to get a laugh. But the African gray parrot isn't just a feathered copycat, it's a linguistic genius. One famous African gray named Alex changed the way scientists understand animal intelligence. Under the guidance of animal psychologist Dr. Irene Pepperberg, Alex learned to recognize over 100 words, identify shapes and colors, and even grasp abstract concepts like bigger and smaller. But here's the twist: Alex didn't just parrot back words. He used them appropriately, even combining them to make requests or answer questions. If he wanted a specific nut, he could ask for it. If he didn't want to do something, he'd say no. Humans often pride themselves on language as the hallmark of intelligence. Yet Alex demonstrated that a bird, with a brain no larger than a walnut, could use words not just as sound, but as meaningful communication. And while our conversations are more complex, Alex's ability to grasp abstract thought without human training in the same way we train children suggests something profound. Intelligence isn't about brain size, it's about brain structure and adaptability. Number 4, the octopus. 8 arms, 3 hearts, and a mind unlike anything else on the planet. The octopus might be the closest thing to an alien we'll ever meet, and it might be smarter than you think. In captivity, octopuses have been known to solve puzzles, escape from sealed jars, and even dismantle aquarium equipment. One notorious octopus in New Zealand named Inky made headlines when he slipped through a tiny gap in his tank, crawled across the floor, and slid down a drainpipe to freedom, a jailbreak worthy of a movie. What makes the octopus truly remarkable is how it thinks. Nearly 2/3 of its neurons aren't in its head at all, they're in its arms. This means each arm can act independently, tasting, touching, and problem-solving without direct orders from the brain. It's as if you had 8 semi-autonomous limbs, each capable of figuring out how to open a door or grab a snack while you were busy thinking about something else. Humans have centralized control in the brain, but the octopus's distributed intelligence gives it a kind of flexibility we can't match. In terms of adaptability, creativity, and raw problem-solving in unpredictable environments, the octopus may be in a league all its own. Number 3, the dolphin. We've long known dolphins are smart, but what's often overlooked is just how close they come to human levels of social and emotional intelligence. Dolphins live in complex societies with shifting alliances, much like human politics. They use signature whistles, their version of names, to identify each other. In experiments, dolphins have passed the mirror test, a measure of self-awareness. They recognize themselves, a trait humans don't even develop until around 18 months of age. Some dolphins have been observed working together to create fish traps by stirring up mud in a circle, trapping prey inside. Others have been caught on camera using tools, like placing marine sponges over their noses to protect themselves while foraging along the seafloor. But here's the truly mind-blowing part: dolphins seem capable of understanding the concept of future planning. In one study, a dolphin was taught to perform a trick for a reward. The next day, without prompting, the same dolphin brought a piece of litter it had found in its tank and presented it to the trainer, clearly expecting a fish as payment. That's not instinct. That's a calculated decision to trade an object for a reward, something that resembles the beginnings of commerce. Number 2, the crow. Crows don't just recognize faces, they remember them, for years. If you've ever wronged a crow, you might find yourself the subject of aerial harassment the next time you walk outside. And it's not just revenge, crows will teach other crows who the bad humans are, passing on this information socially. In terms of tool use, crows can give even the most ingenious humans a run for their money. In one famous study, a New Caledonian crow named Betty bent a straight piece of wire into a hook to fish food out of a tube. No human taught her to do this, she invented the solution on her own. Crows also understand the concept of water displacement, a principle Archimedes discovered thousands of years ago. When presented with a container of water with floating food, crows have been observed dropping stones into it until the water level rises high enough for them to reach the snack. They can plan, solve multi-step puzzles, and even show signs of causal reasoning, understanding not just that something works, but why it works. For a bird with a brain smaller than a walnut, this is nothing short of extraordinary. Number 1. The chimpanzee. It's no surprise that our closest living relatives make the list, but what might shock you is how, in certain areas, chimpanzees outperform humans. Chimps have been observed solving memory tests far faster and more accurately than humans, especially in tasks that require rapid recall of numbers or patterns. In one famous experiment, a young chimp named Ayumu consistently beat human adults in a test where numbers flashed on a screen for just a fraction of a second before disappearing. Chimpanzees also use tools in ways that rival early human ancestors. They strip leaves from sticks to fish termites out of mounds, crack nuts with stones, and even sharpen sticks to spear small animals. These aren't just learned behaviors, many are passed down through generations, making them part of chimpanzee culture. But perhaps the most human-like trait is their emotional intelligence. Chimps comfort each other after conflicts, form lifelong friendships, and even display signs of grief when a member of their group dies. They navigate a social world filled with politics, alliances, and betrayals, much like we do. In short, chimps remind us that intelligence isn't a uniquely human trait, it's a shared legacy among certain species, shaped by millions of years of evolution. We humans like to believe our big brains put us at the top of the mental food chain. But when you look closely at animals like the African gray parrot, the octopus, the dolphin, the crow, and the chimpanzee, it's clear that intelligence wears many forms. Some creatures excel in memory, others in problem solving, others in emotional awareness or adaptability. So maybe the real question isn't who's smarter? It's smarter at what? Which of these animals do you think could give humans the biggest challenge if intelligence was measured on their terms? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if one of these species blew your mind today, share this with someone who still thinks humans have no competition. Because the truth is, we might not be the only geniuses on Earth.